We can see Patricia. She's managed to get vision.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great.
I don't know what happened. That didn't change anything. Dana, did you do something to get me on here?
Nope, I did not.
You know, I just have no control over my computer and stuff. It's just,
But here
I
you
don't
are.
think any of us do. None of us have control of our computers.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dana.
Mhm.
I agree, 100%.
Right, let me
We
move.
just have to make the right offerings to the computer
To God.
to save us.
To the universe, yeah.
Moses, you'll have to move, darling. No, move onto there for a minute.
Beautiful, great.
Move there. You can have the seat to yourself in a minute. Hold on. There you go.
Ruth's having a discussion with Moses.
is that what that is?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's good to know. I was
Not
wondering
like
who
that.
she was talking to.
He now needs to have a seat to himself. There you go.
Absolutely.
Look, it's all yours. There. Now he's happy. There we go.
Oh, and Audrey made it. You're in Ontario?
Wow.
I was also muted. Yeah, I'm in Ontario now.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
What a
Good
wonderful,
to see you all.
what a wonderful ceiling.
Oh,
All these, it looks like artwork. It
Yeah.
looks
yeah.
a bit
I'm
like,
up in.
it looks a
I'm
bit
up
like
in-
one of Bob's. These are,
Yeah.
I haven't put away the paintings that didn't make it into the exhibition for Bob, or
Oh,
are loaded in the van, which will not start.
oh dear.
Apparently the battery is dead.
Mm,
So I have
to get a
a
boost.
plot with my neighbors helping me get a new battery because we live outside the city limits. They don't do battery exchange. My automobile association will not do battery exchanges.
Oh,
If I lived a few miles, east of here,
Yeah.
yeah.
they'd come and replace it.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Yeah, because they are great service.
Yeah.
Annoying. How annoying.
So
Something under the back of that.
Hi,
Pat's-
Amanda.
You know what I
Listen.
need.
Hi.
You all
Hi,
right?
Linda.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Very busy.
Yes.
As always.
Yes.
Change the tilt of this. If I can boost that up a bit.
And I don't think Patsy said she didn't think she'd make it today. So I think we're all here.
Okay.
So let's have some water and then we're going to start with our feet today. We've been starting with hands. So
Mm.
So let's get 1 foot up if you can. And start with that kidney point. That's where we're going to make our connection to the earth. And I have to remember to take my glasses off instead of putting them on. See,
That's right.
I still haven't got the knack of that.
You will
Oh,
with
So
I'll just do it on this. Oh,
give some nice stimulation to that point. And then let's work with our tripods. And the gyrokinesis way of doing that is actually working between the big toe and the second toe, and then between the little toe and the fourth toe in those spaces, and pull apart.
pull apart. Oh.
You've got 2 more people joined us, Dana.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's me, Dana.
Oh,
Hey,
welcome,
Hi.
Patsy. Glad
Thank
you.
you. And our daughter Jill is trying to set me up in the iPad.
oh,
Okay.
So that's why 2 more people came. But
Okay.
today it's only just me.
okay.
Okay.
Good to have Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Not
we've just.
worry. We're glad you made it. Ah,
There she
Here,
is.
here I am, but now I'll see if I can get the iPad to come back. I won't
Okay.
talk to
There we go.
so we're doing our feet. We just started. We just had some water and then went right to our feet, the kidney point, and then the tripod. The other point being just in front of the heel, and then press all of those away from the center of the foot. So widen across the ball and then lengthen to the heel. And then do our gates on the top of our foot. Gently stroking through the metatarsal. And then let's do our toe wiggles. I really love these in the morning. My toes are thirsty for wiggles. So I like to do alternate sort of figure 8s with them.
You do your thing. I'll do this.
Okay, lay down.
And stretching the toes
Do
and
you
pulling
hear-
them apart.
Do you hear Matthew?
I did.
You hear Matthew when you can't find him? Matthew? Give Nigel a call. He's frustrated here because he can't find you, I think. Go downstairs. You can go this way. I've got the door shut in between. Come on, I didn't want I'm on Zoom and I didn't want it to interrupt you while you were.
Okay, and then let's stretch up the ankle as we point our feet. Or just brushing up the ankle. And then pulling up the Achilles tendon. I pinch it with thumb and my thumb and my knuckle, my thumb and my nickel. Again, pressing the heel away to lengthen in there. And then let's come up and give our calves a massage, pressing into the points we find and pressing the heel away, exhaling as we do that.
Oh, there you are, Patsy.
And I see Patricia there.
Yes, Patricia
Nice
is
to
here today.
see you.
Okay. I'm just. Okay. Somebody could maybe mute themselves. I'm not sure who it is. I'm going to mute you, Patsy. Marietta, it's quieter now. Okay. That's just so I don't get distracted by my HDD brain. And then when you're ready, let's go to the other foot, starting with the kidney point. I want to kind of focus on energy today, energy flow in the body. And this is where we receive the flow from the earth. Then finding those points between the big toe and the second toe and the fourth toe and the fifth toe. really getting in there in the metatarsals and pulling apart. And then the same thing with the heel. If you like, you could use 2 fingers to get in there and your thumb on the heel or another. I use my other hand. So lengthening the heel point away backwards and the other 2 points sideways. So we're like creating space between the tripod, attempting to make the tripod bigger. And then our gates. And then our toe wiggles. Okay, moving up the front of the ankle as we point the foot. And moving up the Achilles tendon. As you press the heel away. Felt that right up into my knee. And then our calves. Oh, those calves. They work really hard. Okay, let's put those feet down on the floor and maybe give them a nice rub on the floor if that feels good to you. And then let's commence with rolling our feet around. So heel, side of the feet, across the toes to the big toe, back to the heel, and around. So you're also rotating your hip joints, your femurs in your hip joints. So we're starting to warm up our hips gently, and then we'll reverse. So we'll go from the heel to the big toe, around to the little toe, back along the outside of the foot. Let's do our caterpillar. So maybe bringing your feet back a bit, and then we'll roll up to our toes, put our heel down, reach the toes out. Doing this with our feet. And then we'll reverse, laying our feet down, curling our toes in, stretching back. And again, going forward, stretching out the toes, rolling the foot up. And then backwards, curling the toes in, reaching the heels back. Okay, Let's actually proceed up to our, what I wanted to do was here, we'll do the inside of our legs and our outside. The neurovasculars, really important. I just got a message inviting me to attend a seminar today in town about lymphatic draining, cleansing, noting that it's especially important for the brain. So that reminds me to do our lymphatics, then the outside of the thighs. Let's come around to the back, getting into the glutes and under the pelvic crest, and then along the sides of the sternum. Sacrum. And coming up as far up on either side of your spine as you can do without straining your shoulders. Then coming to the front across the pubic bone, the collarbone, the pubic bone, and then coming up to either side of the navel. Underneath the rib cage. So we're doing everything today in the opposite order we've been doing it for this month. Just to keep you on your toes. Now I find it easier to cross across. And although they're not all neurolymphatics, I just love to get in between the ribs. And I don't know if I've told you the story of touring in Saskatchewan for 6.5 weeks. And we're recommended to go to Cyrus McPhee, way up in the northeast corner of Saskatchewan. And he started, I could tell you long stories about Cyrus. He was a real character, elderly man, but he started by stripping between all the ribs, all around. And Bob had a healing crisis. He said that would, release a lot of toxins. And his back went into spasm and he broke out in somewhat of a rash. So we had to do another treatment for him to help clear that out. But I don't think us massaging in our rib cages here is going to bring on a healing crisis, but hopefully it will release, help our lymph to do the work it needs to do. And while you're there, getting under your armpits along the side of the body, all those spleen points there, and even right into the armpits, and then coming across under the top of the sternum. And then I don't think we went down the sternum. So let's do that. And then I love this one, stroking the side of the neck and turning the head away from the direction you're stroking. Get some nice a bit of gentle drainage there, and then the other side. Slide around to the back. Let's hold one elbow to support our hand and get into our shoulder. Maybe doing a cross to the other side is easier. Going down into the shoulder blade as much as you can. There are neurolymphatic points in the shoulder blade. I don't know if it's just reflex points or if there's actually lymph there, or I don't know. But it's on the chart. Okay, and then the other side. Come around along the, just under the skull, the occiput area, and then down your neck as far as you can go along either side of the spine. And then we could give ourselves a little, skull massage here. See if you can loosen up the skin. We want all those bony plates of our skull to be able to, the joints between them to be able to move. Coming down to our jaw. And do the energy yawn. Coming around the ears and do our thinking caps. I was always taught 3 times around. And to me, that's a good way. There's kind of 3. You kind of can do the outside rim, then the middle rim, and then get more into the ears as you pull and reach. Finishing with a nice little pull on the earlobes, just allowing the weight of your arms to give some length. And then we'll do our wake-up points around the eyes, first around the orbit of the eyes. And you can choose to rub or tap as you prefer. And then around above the eyebrows and along the cheekbone. And lastly, on our face, we're going to come along the sides of the nose and dig in and massage on either side of the nostrils. That is the final point on the large intestine meridian. Okay, let's go to our hands. Let's start what we did last week with polishing our hands, getting some warmth and heat in there, but also the idea of like we could moisturize our skin. Do the underside and then get between the fingers, kind of similar to what we did for our feet. You could also massage your elbows. And then let's do our fingers. So let's do the rings pulling away. And then let's pushing in to give some compression to the joints. So we're going to kind of twist out. And then we'll give a little compression. I have gotten arthritis in my hands the last few years, which I find really annoying. So I'm hoping if I spend a little bit of time giving my hands some attention, maybe they at least won't progressively get worse. So let's do our bracelets then, up our wrists. And then maybe a little extra attention on the inside and the outside of the arm, those neurovascular points we didn't do yet. And then when you're ready, go to the other hand. Oh, I forgot to polish. Polishing the hands. Then the underside, getting in between the fingers. And then if you want to polish your elbows as well, hopefully stimulate the oil in our skin to come out and moisturize. And then our fingers. Doing both the lengthening out and the compression. And then bracelets up our arms. And bracelets up our arms, and then making sure you get into those neurovascular points on either side. And then Ruth just gave me an idea. Let's do our finger exercises. We haven't done these in months. Little, next, next, next. Open, 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 open. Thumb to index, open, out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. One less time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's shake that out. And let's do some arm movements, shoulder release, etc. So, I thought of something new. Okay, here we go. Shoulders up as you inhale. Shoulders down, exhale. Fingers reach out in as big an arc as you can. Fingers embrace the space like a big hug. Come into your turtle dove tail. Reach out into space and release. And shoulder blades up. Lengthen your head out of the top of your head as you release. Fingers out. Embrace an enormous cloud. And then release out into space. and down. Let us take our fingers. So I just saw another way of doing this. Like make this V with your fingers and put them on either side of your ear. Trace up to the top of your head and then bring all the fingers together in the center. That's another way of finding your very elaborate way, but there must be a reason for it. So there we have our G22 point. So feel that, press your G20 point against your fingers. Think of pressing your head up as opposed to just letting your fingers press down. So press your head up and reach down with your tailbone, reach down with your sits bones into the chair and maybe into your feet as well, and then release. Let's inhale, press up with the top of our head, exhale, down. Press your feet into the floor, all the way up out the top of the head, and exhale down. Now let's try the opposite. Remember those tripods? Let's suction up those tripods as you exhale and press up through the top of your head and release. And suction up the tripods, between the tripods, the arch of the foot. Okay, I'm going to speak without moving so I can say the words I want to say. So what I'm suggesting is that spread your toes and your heel out. Now, imagine the center of your foot is a dome. Your arch is a dome. And the dome is going to come up like this. And then the foot spreads out again. So if you just do that part and spread, and now as you make that dome of the foot, pressing the tripod into the ground, that comes up, that energy comes all the way up out through the top of your head. And if you want, you can have your fingers there to press and then release. Or you can have your fingers out here. If you find more challenge with the feet part of it, you can do this. So whatever you like. So arch, energy comes up through the top of the head and release. Arch up, out through the top of the head and release. Arch up, out through the top of the head and release. Arch up, out through the top of the head and release. Okay, so we're going to continue to work with that lengthening in the center, even as we're doing other things with our arms. Okay, so inhale, shoulder blades up. Now, arch up through the top of your head as your shoulders come down. Reach out and come around. Turtled up tail. Reach out and release. Shoulder blades up. Press into the ground and reach up as your fingers stretch down and out. Come around to the turtle dove tail. Reach out and down. Okay. I want to do, just to remind us, our hanging monkey. So one arm reaching up and the other arm. Imagine that your fingers are really heavy and pulling the arm out of the shoulder, creating space. Don't push the arm down, just feel the weight of it. And then on the other side, I'm just going to get my little so a plumber's weight So imagine as you reach up with one hand, the other hand maybe could have a plumber's weight, and you're twirling that plumber's weight, like from your shoulder. And that weight is lengthening through there. So it's a release that creates the stretch, not a pushing. That makes sense. Okay, so let's do, I don't know where you are. Let's do a couple of more. This time circling in whatever direction you haven't been. Supporting yourself through your feet. And then change sides. Okay, now we're going to do another way. We're going to reach that just with one arm. We're going to reach that arm down, and our elbow is going to pull out. So we create a curve in our body, and you start to feel the stretch on this side of the body this time, because this is pulling out. And then back up, extend through the top of the head, and then the other arm reaches down. And then the elbow curves you around to make a kind of a C shape with your body, and then reach up with the top of your head as you drop your arms down. Arm reaches down, elbow reaches out, around to make a C. This one arm now drops, this arm drops like with the monkey, and then reach up through the top of your head. And down on the other side, elbow reaches out and around, other arm reaches down like the monkey, but you've created this curve and created space between your hips and your ribs on that side. Okay, let's do it one more time. We're going to exhale down and then inhale as we come around. So exhale down. Inhale as you reach out and stretch. Exhale and release, inhale. I'm not following the breath. Don't worry about it. Just keep breathing. And release. So our idea is to start to create some space between our hips and our ribs, which I find is getting smaller and smaller every year. So we want some space for all those organs in the middle. So let's warm those up now with some figure eights to start with. So tilting forward from the hips, reaching around to the back, and then forward from the hips, reaching around to the back. So we're massaging one sits bone, and then the other sits bone. Okay, now let's do it with our organs. Pouring the belly forward, rolling our organs around one side. Pouring the belly forward, rolling around to the other side. So, of course, all of you by now have totally let go of that image of needing to have a flat belly, right? Because that's totally unnatural for human beings. Our bellies are full of our organs, our vital organs. So we don't want to squish them together. So we're just going to massage them around. Okay, and now let's do the same thing with our heart and our lungs, moving our heart gently forward and around, forward and around. Imagine our lungs massaging our heart, maybe. Last one. Okay, let's try this with our head. So keeping our spine long now, let's let our head drop forward and roll around, not squishing at the back, keeping it long, and then dropping the head forward and rolling it around, feeling the stretching one along the side of the neck and then the other. So forward and around and forward and around and forward and around and forward and around. And now let's go back to a long, like the searchlight. So feeling the length between your sits bones and the top of your head. And because you're shooting that searchlight up into the sky, it's a long spine now.
Hello. Speaking. Yes,
Okay,
I'm okay. I'm on a
now,
you're on a program and I can't get myself out of it.
okay. Here we are. Let's get some water. So there was one thing I wanted to maybe review today. So let's look at the colors. And if you are not balanced, just unmute yourself and tell me what color is drawing you.
Yellow.
Okay? Anybody else?
Red.
Wait, what?
Red.
Red, yellow, red, okay. Any other colors come up for anybody? Okay, so we'll start with red because we'll go in the cycle. So we all know the integrated movements, but another way to balance those colors is called neurovasculars. And I don't know if we've ever done very much with these. So starting with the heart, which would be the give and take. I like to say give and receive. I think it sounds a lot nicer than give and take. Not sure why Dr. Dennison, with all his use of the importance of words, would say give and take. But I guess it's all very personal. Okay, so the neurovascular for that is the anterior fontanelle, which is if you put your palm here and bring your fingers around. This is forward of G20. This is G22. So it's closer to your forehead. I have a bump there. I don't know, but you can find it by putting the heel of your hand just above your nose, bring your fingers around, and your middle finger should be at your anterior fontanelle. Okay, so what we do is we just gently hold those points. So for this, we don't do normally, I've never heard anybody do tapping with neurovasculars, because what you're actually doing is drawing the blood flow up into that point. So this is the kind of thing where if you're just holding the point lightly, eventually you'll feel a pulse. And if it takes a while, don't be upset. If you do this on a more regular basis, eventually your body knows what's happening, and it usually happens fairly soon. So when you felt the pulse, just let your hands go. And we'll just wait. You can have some water while you're waiting. So. Next one, small intestine, is where we do, trying to think of how we want to do this sitting down. So this is this one. So we have to swivel our legs to one side and then to the other side. And actually, the head goes in the direction of the knees. I always feel a little bit like a chorus line when I do this. I don't know why. Okay, and I'm just going to get my book to make sure I do the right one. For some reason, I rarely do this one, but assimilation. Why don't I see it? Yeah, it's where I thought it was. I just didn't write it on my chart. Okay. So this is right from the top of your ear, just go up to where the skull starts to curve around. So that's the point for assimilation. So in this case, we have the points are not together. The first one we did for unconditional love is just the 1 point, the anterior fontanelle. This is 2 points, so I can come forward. It's kind of almost like a ridge, or where the skull from going upwards starts to curve around over the top of the head. maybe a couple of inches above your ear. And again, when you feel a pulse, just let your hands go. So the next part of fire is bonding, which is the pericardium, the heart protector. And there are two neurovascular points for this, another two pairs, so 4. So one we just did, which is the one, above the ears, and the other one is just from the top of the ears back along the skull. So you're coming back along the skull. Tell me if you can't see right there. So I use my thumb and then 2 fingers right over the top of the ear. And again, I kind of feel a little bit of a bony lump there where my thumbs are. So that's for bonding. And there are so many points for harmony. Yeah. Okay. Then the last points for the fire. This is triple warmer, which isn't an organ as such in our body, but it's a Chinese concept that we have these triple warmers or burners. One is our digestion, one is our lungs, and I've forgotten what the third one is. How we get energy in our body, how we derive energy. So, and when we do this, we put our hands around, we put our fingers around here for the actual movement, which we've just done. And once again, we always do circles. Yeah, we did figure eights. We didn't do circles today. Okay, so here we have the movement for harmony. I'm in the right place at the right time. And now we have lots of points for harmony. So 2 of the points are just in front of the ears and in back of the ears. So it's the same point. Sorry, folks. No, I'm sorry. It's just in front of the ears. So right in front of this, where your ear comes down and meets your head here, you just come a little bit forward from that on either side. I'm just resting on above my cheekbone.
Yep.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Mhm.
Right there. Okay. And the other point is at the curve of the head in the back. It's right where the curve in the center line, where the curve sticks out the farthest to the back, you know? So coming up until it starts to curve forward again, or coming down to where it starts to curve under. So it's that point. And those ones where it's just one point on the center line, I still like to do it with two hands. I mean, you could always experiment with doing it one hand or the other, but I like the idea, the concept of two hands on the body. I know we're not working with acupressure points, but I still like to have both hands on my body. And if you're really, agile, you could do both these at the same time. So I use my thumbs at the front of my ear, along the top of the cheekbone, and the other two fingers at the back. Okay, and somebody said yellow. Okay, so yellow is earth. So we have our wonderful stomach meridian, shoveling snow, which we almost had to do last week. Fortunately, it melted. I am content and blessed. All my needs are met. So the neurovasculars for the stomach are our positive points. Yeah, and those are the only ones. Oh, no, the jaw. Okay, so these are really a little bit hard to do together, but so we know our positive points, right? The other one is just, the right in the curve of the jaw where the jaw comes down and then moves forward. So right at that triangle place, but on the bone, not under it. That's 2 points. And the other ones are our positive points, which we know are above the center of our eyes, on our forehead, between our eyebrows and our hairline. Okay, the last one, reflection or relaxation. I was going to see if I could remember it by myself. It's this one right here, I'm sure. Some of these I do all the time, and sometimes I rarely do. So yeah, okay, this is another one. We've got 2, 4, So the double one is on the back of the head, just where the curve, our one for harmony was here, and just as the curve starts to go forward on the head, I find a little place where, I don't know if there's a suture there, but it makes a definite shift from going more up to going more forward. So at that point, that's one point, and the other one is right above the top of the ear. So I can usually do those two together. So just right, if you had pointed ears, it would be there. So that is harmony. So these are kind of handy. You can do them in bed if you feel, when you don't want to do, and especially like the one for reflection, if you don't want to lie down on your tummy, you can do the neurovasculars for balance. So let's see how that is. You balanced, Marietta? Okay, and Amanda? How are you doing? Her microphone is turned off. Okay.
Sorry, I can't. Yeah, Zoom's playing up. Yeah, but thank you. Yes.
Okay, great. So we can play with those some more. And I know that was a lot of new material. So let's end the class with some nice circles of our arms. So palms coming up. So keeping those shoulders down, let's do it really slowly. And as you feel the weight of your arms moving, imagine those shoulder blades are moving down like a counterweight. And then coming down. Kind of integrating all that balancing that we did. Feeling the energy from the soles of the feet flowing straight up out through the top of the head. And coming down. I was going to do also the meridian massage. That won't take very long. Are you all good with 3 more minutes? Okay, so if I am here with my arms up, all the energy, the yang energy from the universe, the sky, the heavens, the Chinese would say their meaning of that word, comes down the backs of the hands and arms, down the back of the torso, down the sides and back of the legs, and out through the toes. Because when it reaches our body, it immediately becomes yin and goes to the earth. And then the energy from the earth comes in through the toes and the kidney 1 point. It comes up the insides of our legs and the front of our torso and the inside of our arms. Yes? So when we do this massage sitting down, we're going to go down the back, out through our toes, in through our toes, up through the insides of our legs, the front of our body to our chest. We're going to move out the inside of the arms up to heaven, it would be, and the back side of our arms to our face. and the other side, inside of the arms, back side of the arms, and up to our face. We continue 3 times. So we do then again around the hip, back of the body, side of the legs, out through the toes, into the toes, inside of the legs, up the front of the body to the chest, out across the arm, back of the arm, to the face, inside of the arm, back of the arm, up to the face, again, around the back, and out, and in, nerve side, to the chest, around, to the back of the arm, to the face, and out, and back of the arm, to the face. And there we have it, our meridian tracing. So hopefully you're all energized, feel the flow of the energy from heaven down to earth and back up. Continual orbit of energy circulating in our body. So it's all about just keeping everything moving. That's life, is movement.
Very prayer. We'll be back on the middle class. Okay. Thank
Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dana.
You have a
Thank you, Dana.
next week. You have vacation next week.
Pardon
What?
me?
You have vacation next week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Does and anybody in town? There is a celebration of Bob's life and art on Saturday. I think you have the invitations.
Mm.
There is a live stream as well. Patricia, I remember you're not driving anymore. I don't know. And I don't know that I've sent the live stream to everybody. So I will send the live stream out along with the in-person invitation. And if you haven't received it already, I apologize. I just, I'm not,
What to do?
It's okay,
there's a
Dana.
lot to organize and
Not to worry.
yeah. I can never remember who I've,
That's
Okay.
no worry, Dana.
Not a
Fine.
problem. Not
Okay.
a problem.
Not even
take
close.
care, everybody.
Okay.
Oh, thank you,
Hope
Dana.
all
You
goes
too.
well, Dana.
Thank you.
Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
great class. Everyone have a good week.
Thank you, and you as
yes,
well.
Everybody have a great week.